Hey YouTube, I'm gonna go out and run an errand today, and wow, right off the gate, I'm gonna go run an errand today, and I'm gonna try to recreate a scenario that I saw yesterday. Why does it stop here? Okay, recreate a scenario that I saw yesterday that basically has the predicted path jittering when it's stopped and it's next to a turn lane. The blue path is obviously what the full self-driving computer is calculating its projected path is. It's blue when it's in motion and it's gray when it's not in motion. There probably is even a certain number of distance between the blue dots that represents a number of feet, because the line gets longer when you're driving and shorter when you're stopped. So it's a projected path, a vector, what have you. So when the blue line, or even the gray line if you're not moving, starts jittering around, what that is telling me as a driver is that the car is confused as to what it's going to do next. And that's when you see a lot of steering wheel motion. That's when you see perhaps a little bit of jerkiness. So maybe I can get some more film that kind of shows that, and we can do a little bit of analysis. It's a little bit cloudy today, so I'm hoping that the display, I don't know why it was on 2%, but I got it cranked up to 100% now, is a little bit brighter. Alright, I'm doing this blinker manually to try to create a scenario where I'm at one of these intersections waiting. And hopefully we can see what's going on. So right now, the projected path is to go straight through this intersection. It looks like the light just turned green. Oh, right. I'm not sure why it did that, but that bus was a little bit out of its lane, and I'm guessing that somehow the car was concerned it was coming over into the lane or something. I'm not sure. At about 0.1 miles, we need to be getting in the left lane, and then from the left lane, it looks like the arrow just turned red, so we'll be stopping in this left lane. And this is a protected left turn, and it stopped well short again. Not sure why it's doing that today, so that's the second time. So occasionally there are these railroad crossing markings, and some of the railroad crossing markings have a white line associated with them, and I think it's confusing for the stop line. You can see how far back we are from this stoplight, I hope. Just for the purposes of testing the predicted path, I'm going to press the accelerator just a little bit, get it off its edge, and it needs to stop here. Okay. So I don't know what happened there, other than me tapping the accelerator to creep up a little bit gave it confirmation to proceed. I'm going to back up a hair because I let it go a little bit too far. Okay, so now I'm back at the stop line, and as soon as I get the steering wheel, I'll re-engage it. So the projected path is accurate now. I guess it's seeing everything now. I guess in the process of me doing that, I missed the turn signal because maybe I was beyond the sensor. Now it does say autopilot paused waiting for cross traffic. That's inaccurate right now. It's traffic control, not waiting for cross traffic. So I'm curious if after it sees an opening, if it's going to go for it. There it goes. see if it changes its mind. I'll disengage it if it proceeds. Yeah. Okay. For those of you that like to watch my snapshotting, it looks like I'm getting a few of them today. So this is very clearly a red light, and I don't know if you can see it any longer behind the rear view mirror, but it's a solid red arrow. So my first clue that it was going to run it was it said waiting for cross traffic. It didn't say stop at traffic control. I wonder if the color there makes any difference. So now the stoplights are all red, excuse me, and I've got a red arrow. But look how dark those reds are, and that is a little pinkish. I wonder if that's trying to represent an arrow. Okay, I'm doing this manually now. Alright, I'm re-engaging. Alright, this next one is a right turn. Right turn on red is legal here, so if it does turn while it's red, it just needs to look to the left to ensure that the far right lane is clear. There's a bus coming. Okay. Okay. Don't know what happened there. I didn't disengage it that I'm aware of. Cruise control unavailable is the warning I'm getting. It's not giving me any reason, and it looks like everything went blank. Huh. Driving visualization temporarily degraded. Feature may be restored on next drive. Huh. Alright, let's just see what it does, and if it comes back. I guess it's good that we're getting these errors while we're in beta. That would be a, it just came back. It didn't even give me any warning why it came back. It just popped back in. And I've got the steering wheel, so I'll re-engage it. So thinking back, it looks like it lost everything just as it was kind of doing that right on red. I was looking outside. I'll have to see if there were any notifications on the screen just as it was doing that. Alright, we need to get into this left turn lane. It just turned green, so this will be an unprotected left if it does continue. There's no one coming, so it's nice and clear. And it did a nice continual roll around the traffic and into the right lane. Hey, that was a great one. That path was perfect. Sometimes it's great to have these perfect turns mixed in there with some of the craziness, so that deep down you know there's hope. All right, it looks like it's navigating all the way into the parking lot here, which is good. Nothing unusual. There's a stop sign here. There's nobody around, so it's nice and clear. Nice and slow speed, so it could be going 25, but it's choosing to go 15. That's great. Okay, I'd go ahead and went ahead and disengaged. I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, there is no stop sign here, but it's kind of a T intersection, stopping anyway, which is good. It's what it should be doing, checking for clearance, creeping forward. Had good visibility on that one. All right, now here there is a stop sign with a stop line, and it's taking a left here. I can't see to the right. It's clear though. All right, hey, got it out of the parking lot, nice. Need to get in the right lane. Looks like it's doing that with the turn signal, plenty early. And then it's a very sharp right-hand turn here. It's done this intersection fine before. Wow, look at this jumping around. This is what I've been talking about. This is what I'm trying to capture, is when it's waiting, all of the different calculations it's doing. All right, that car there kind of scared it from going. There was nobody else around, so I kind of let it ride. It did it. No problem with that. A little puddle up here on the right. I don't think it's going to go around that at all. Nope, it didn't. Which is good. Somebody asked a question, like, you know, if it's looking for potholes, what does it think about water? And it definitely didn't flinch at that puddle. All right, going through this intersection nice and smooth. So you can see this path jittering a little here. I'm not exactly sure why, and just unless that has to do with the refresh rate of the vision or the computers. I mean, I'm moving, nothing is moving around me, but that path is just fluttering just a little bit back and forth. All right, so now we're coming up on a intersection, but we got to cross railroad tracks, and you can see this railroad track paint here. That's what I was talking about before. All right, it needs to cross the railroad tracks a little slower than that. Okay, it's stopped right on the railroad tracks. I don't like where it stopped, because if there was a train coming, obviously there's nobody in front of me, so I could get out of the way. There is a car behind me that probably thinks I'm crazy stopping here. I'm going to tap the accelerator just a little bit to get off the railroad tracks, and let's see if it thinks it's a full proceed. All right, just tapped it a hair, and it moved forward, and now it says waiting for turn, and it is clear in the right lane for a right on red, and it did that. So that tapping the accelerator was interpreted as a proceed right on red, rather than scoot up to the stop line and then reevaluate, which is what I sort of would want it to do, is scoot up, reevaluate. Maybe it did reevaluate just in the roll. It was clear enough to proceed. Okay, so I just reprogrammed another route to kind of give me some guidance to go back through a few of those intersections. And I'm going to go ahead and engage the autopilot now. Now it should be doing a left turn here at this light, but the route has got it going to the right and doing a U-turn. Navigator and autopilot currently unavailable. Features may be restored on the next drive, yet it is engaged. I'm going to cancel that route. I'm going to restart it. And you see when the route is canceled how the projected path is going a little bit everywhere. Okay, now it's got a route and it smoothed out. So now that it's kind of doing the right thing, it looks like it has a nice projected path there. I don't have any warnings about Navigator and autopilot, and you can see here the route is going to do a left turn. And it put the blinker on. Okay, the light just turned yellow, so I should be getting a green here momentarily. And there's the green, and it turned blue as it starts to move. And it smoothly takes that intersection. All right, kind of an interesting scenario here. I've got flashing lights that sometimes you get when the electricity goes out or it lost its computer. So I've got two flashing yellows that I should be proceeding through, and a flashing red for the left. There's a little bit of traffic coming. It's slowed to 30 and it's proceeding straight through. It still has it's down to 30, but it went through it. I'm not sure why those lights were flashing at the moment. This one's here green, so it wasn't a power outage. Those are dangerous lights on a highway, as the other direction is forced to do unprotected intersection turns. So I'm glad I proceeded carefully there. Right here. All right, we just had a car kind of go into this median here, and there's a car behind me, and I had to press the accelerator. It completely stopped for that traffic. That was a an unsafe maneuver on a highway where the speed limit's 45. The car behind me couldn't understand why I was stopping, basically, and the Tesla, I guess, didn't like how much that car was interfering with the lane. I don't know what it saw. Maybe it was just a little bit of protrusion in the lane and it didn't like it, and it completely was going to stop on the road, at least before I tapped the accelerator. All right, we're proceeding through a green and then through a flashing yellow with a flashing red for the turn lane. So it just needs to yield here. It should proceed, and it stayed actually pretty aggressive. It didn't slow down at all on that one. I would call that a nice yield. Okay, here I'm at a train crossing with a train. I've got a path to go through it, and I'm at the stop line here. You can see there is a stop line. The projected path is blue. It wants to go. Stopping for traffic control, so I guess it's now stopping. Okay, where are you going? No, okay. My hood is now underneath the guardrail, so I'm just gonna back up a little bit. So, I don't know why it would want to do that. I've got a route ahead, and it's got a lot going on there. It wants to go for some reason. Let's see what happens when the guardrail comes up. Oh, I'm sorry, autopilot isn't on. Oh yeah, all right, Tesla, you need to know about that one. Okay, we saw quite a bit today. That was pretty interesting there at the end with the train. I tried to rush and set up that scenario because I saw the train coming. It might not have been a perfect scenario, but I did have autopilot engaged. I did have a navigation path through the train tracks. The red bars were down, and I think you could see on the visualization that it wanted to go through. I didn't get a whole lot of data on the projected path jitter, a few situations. I'm not sure if all those will make the cut. In any case, let me know what you think. I appreciate the feedback. Let me know if you like videos 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I can cut them down even tighter if they're getting too long. Take care, YouTube.